Okay, so this is spiral 6. Change the following fractions into its respective decimal equivalent, round to the nearest hundredth. So I'm going to do everything on the side. 5 over 7 is 5 divided by 7. That's how you should write. 5 goes inside because it's a top number. 7 doesn't go into 5, 0. Add a decimal. 7 goes out of 0, sorry. 7 goes to 57 times. 49. 10 left over. There's 1 left over. Bring another 0 down. 7 goes to 10 3 times. 1 time. What am I doing? That's 7. 10 minus 7 is 3. Let me just bring one more 0 down. And 7 going to 30 4 times. The reason I'm doing it with 3 zeros, or at least 3 decimal places on the top here, on the quotient, is that, so now, even if, I'm not going to continue, I'm going to stop at 3 decimal places. I can, what's the word I'm looking for? I can round to the nearest hundred. So my number here is 0.714. I want to cut it after 2 decimal places. I'll put a line over here. That 4 does not have enough power to move that number 1 up, so final answer is 0.71, rounded to the nearest hundred. Okay. Next one, 4 over 9. I know it's going to be a little bit less than 0.5 because 4 is not 4 is less than 4.5, which would be exactly half. So again, 4 divided by 9, 0. 4 goes into 40 4 times, which is 36. 4 comes down, and you another 0. 4 goes to 9 goes to 40 4 times again, which is 36. So you can see that's going to be 4, 4, 4, 4, 4 forever and ever. So 0.44, that's just going to be 0.44 because if you go another one, it's going to be 0.444. If you cut it here, this does not have enough power to move that 4 to a 5, so it's just 0.44. You can write 0.4 like this. That's completely acceptable. 1 over 6. Okay, so how many times can 6 go into 1? Decimal, 0. 0 goes, 6 goes into 10 once. 4 left over, bring another 0 down. 6 goes to 46 times, which is 36. 4, bring another 0 down. You know, now there's a pattern. 6 goes to 40 again 6 times, so it's going to be 1, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6. So we want to round this to the nearest hundredth. Cut it right here. That's 6. Move that 6 to 0.17. Okay. Where are we? Clear. We can move this down. Oh, that was just question 1. Let's try to move this a little faster. Sam has 4 4/5 chocolate bars. She wants to cut into 2/3, so we can just do this. 4/5 divided into 2/3. So that's what I have, and that's I want to cut into 2/3 pieces. Let's change this. 4 times 5 is 20, plus 4 is 24 over 5, divided by 2/3. Get 15, 15. That's the LCM. So times 3 on top is going to be 72. Times 5 here, times 5 on top is going to be 10. Cross, cross, 72 over 10, or 10 goes 72 7 times, 2/10. Okay, or you can round it to 1/5, 7 and 1/5. Okay, but that's completely acceptable answer. Whoever tells you that you have to simplify all the time, yeah, it depends. You gotta look at your, if it's a multiple choice questions, you probably do, because that's probably what your answer would have been, 7 and 1/5. Determine if the number is a negative integer, positive integer, or not an integer. 7.67, it's not an integer. Okay, 965 is an integer. Negative 66 is an integer. Negative 1 4/5, not an integer. And what's this? 0 is an integer. Oops, I'm supposed to say negative positive. Okay, so not an integer, not an integer. 965 is a positive integer. Negative 66 is a negative integer. Negative 1 4/5, not an integer, and 0 is just an integer. It's neither positive or negative. Remember, an integer are all your whole numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay, including 0. And they're opposites, -1, -2, -3, -4, so forth, so forth. So nothing with decimals, and nothing with fractions, just whole numbers, either positive or negative, or integers, and the 0 too, of course. Multiply. Okay, so this one is because a lot of you have been having problems multiplying, so let me just do that. 2.43 times 0.8. This has 2 decimal places. This is 1 for a total of 3. That's what my answer is going to have. So 8 times 3 is 24, carry 2, 32, 34, carry 3, 16, 19. I don't have to multiply the zeros because it's pointless. 3 decimal places, 1, 2, 3. Final answer, 1.944. That's with, we're not rounding because we weren't asked to. Sum, addition, yay, 45.34. I'm going to line up the second decimal, the second number right here, and I'm going to fill in the number. So it's 3.12298. Try to line up your numbers. And I add 0, a 0, and 0 just for placeholders. Doesn't change the value. 8, a 9, a 2, 4 and 2 is 6, a 4, decimal, 5 and 3 is 8, and a 4. Final answer, this huge monstrosity here, 48.46298. Okay? Let's go down. Use the distributive property. Okay, hopefully distributive property. This multiplies this. This attacks this. So first attack you get 7 times 7 plus a second attack 7 times k. We can sort of simplify 7 times 7. We can, instead of leaving it 7 times 7, write 49 plus 7 times k. That's how we're going to leave our answer. Factor using the greatest common factor. So you can use the ladder method. What's the biggest number that can go into 10, 55? I think that's definitely a 5. 5 goes into 10 2 times. 5 goes to 55 11 times. So the number outside becomes this 5. The two numbers inside is a 2 and a 11. Okay. Let's go down. On a coordinate plane, Sam's house located at -3 and 5. Tina's house located at 8 and 5. What do I do? No. I don't know what that is. I could forget it. Okay, so how far are they from each other if each unit is equal to half a mile? Okay, so I can make a make-believe quadrant here. Okay, I know that Sam's house located -3 and 5. -3 and 5 would be a little bit this way and up. And 8 and 5, Tina's house is all the way up here and also 5. So you notice they're both on the 5th floor. Okay, they're lined up here. They're both on the 5th floor. So one is on one side of the y-axis and the other one's on the other side of the y-axis. So I know just by looking at my number that Sam's house, this here, is 3. Remember, -3 is just their location here, but the absolute value of -3, the distance from that point to the y-axis, is 3. On the other side, Tina's house, how far is she to the right? This whole distance here, it's 8. So if I add the 3 and 8, I'll have the distance between this Sam's house and Tina's house. 3 plus 8 is 11. So the distance is going to be 11. And we're going to multiply that times 0.5 over half a mile. And half of 11 is going to give us 5.5 miles. And all that without needing a coordinate grid. Okay, remember, look at all the information that I was given here and all the information that was given here. They're both on the 5th floor. One is all the way 8 units away, and the other one is all the way 3 units away on the other side. Okay. Let's move on. Find the absolute value of -23. Well, this is absolute value of -23, and the absolute value of -23 is 23. What does it mean? It means that -23 is 23 steps, units away from 0. So if you had a number line, this was 0, and this was -23. If you're standing right here and you had to walk all the way back to 0, you would take 23 units, centimeters, meters, inches, whatever it is that we're using. Okay. Sam is scuba diving. So she's scuba diving. So I pretend here's the water. And she's negative 25 feet. So she's somewhere over here. Okay, she's diving. Let's call this negative 25 feet. Okay. And obviously this would be 0. So it's negative 25. And Tina is diving 15 feet deeper than Sam. Deeper than Sam. So this is Sam. And Tina, it's deeper means she's probably lower somewhere here. And this is Tina. Much deeper. Okay. And what is Tina's location? Well, negative 25. We're going to add 15 to that. Negative 25, negative 26, negative 27, negative 28, negative 29. All the way, if we go 15, okay, so we can just do 25 plus 15, and that gives us 40. She'll be at negative 40. So negative 25 plus negative 15 equals negative 40. So how far is Tina? All the way down at negative 40. Okay. What are the characteristics of a point located in quadrant 2? Well, in quadrant 2, well, I know that this is quadrant 1, 2, 3, 4. In quadrant 1, everybody's positive. Plus, plus. Quadrant 2, first number is negative, the second number is positive. Quadrant 3, negative, negative, and quadrant 4, it's positive, negative. So, in quadrant 2, anybody in this area right here is negative first, positive second. So, would the point 0, 8 be located in that quadrant? Well, no. Let's see where 0, 8 here in our make-believe here. 0 means you don't move left, you don't move right, you stay where you are, and 8, you go up. So this would be 0 and 8 right here. Is that inside quadrant 2? No, it's not. 0, 8 is not in quadrant 2. Not even in quadrant 1. It's actually on top of the y-axis. Okay, so that would be the answer. Point 0.08 is not located in that quadrant, which in this case was quadrant 2. And it is actually on top of the y-axis. Okay. The following can be used to represent the comparison of what two rational numbers. So here's a number line. There are 2 points, one here, one here. So whoever did this probably drew this number line to compare which number was bigger. We know now that when we're comparing two numbers, the number on the right is always bigger, so this number is always bigger. So let's see what number they are first of all. So this is 0, that's negative 1. This was cut into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this could be 1/10, 2/10, or if you want 0.1, so this could be 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5, 0.6. You can use fractions too, that's fine. 0.7, 0.8, 0.9, 1. Or if you did it in fractions, 1 over 10, 2 over 10, 3 over 10, 4 over 10, 5 over 10, 6 over 10, 7 over 10, 8 over 10, 9 over 10, and that's it. So, let's use the decimal here. That's 0.1 or 0.10, 0.20, 0.30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. Negative, by the way, they're all negatives. Okay, everybody's negative here. Negative, 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 negative. So, the two values that we have is 0.70, negative, and the other value that we have, what's between negative 20 and negative 10? Well, it's negative 15. So, this number line was built to compare these two numbers, negative 0.70 and negative 0.15. And what can we write about this? Well, we can write the negative 15, 0.15 is definitely the bigger number because it's on the right side. So negative 70 is less than negative 0.15. Okay, so that was spiral 6.